Hello and good afternoon, and a huge welcome to this afternoon session brought to you today by Postgrad Insights, who will be focusing on quite a new school today, as well as an established brand brought to you by the Northius Group. Now, before I hand you over to a representative there, just a reminder, this is a live session. If you are watching on demand, there will be no opportunities to message us or live chat us. Simply send an email to myself, gareth@postgradsolutions.com. You will receive all those details in the follow-up email. But what's coming up today is nice and easy. We've got a presentation coming up from today's guests, what postgrad.com is all about before a Q&A, a chance to win £500 off your tuition costs. That comes from Postgrad Solutions, and simply what is coming up next. But without further ado, I'd like to hand you over to Fernando from the Northius Group. He's the head of international expansion at the company. He's been joined by, as you can see there, two of his lovely colleagues and one other person on Zoom as well. So a huge welcome, Fernando, and I'll leave it over to you.
So let me introduce everybody, the Northius Group. We're probably the largest educational group in Spain. We're solely online educational group. We've got more than 35,000 students every year learning any of our more than 10 schools or brands that we cover, which I'm going to tell you a bit more in a minute. And we have agreements with more than 12,000 companies. Now, if I had to describe the Northius Group in just one sentence, we're an academy of employment. We basically teach students the right content for them to become more employable, for them to grow in their professional careers, okay? As I said, we are a leading digital educational platform. Again, we're not well known in Europe. We're in the process of an international expansion. Our platforms and our brands work exactly the same across all of them. We generate content. It's our own content. We have a state-of-the-art platform that helps students access to all the different resources they have. And we only work with the top of the class teachers in each one of their fields, which we'll be able to get to know a little bit more in a minute. As I said, we're now facing an international expansion. We are present at the very moment in several countries around Latin America: Argentina, Uruguay, Chile, Peru, Colombia, Puerto Rico, Republic of Dominican, Panama, Ecuador, and Costa Rica. Still 90% of our business comes from Spain, which is our home country, which is where our roots are. But we're also now teaching students in Portugal. And after a few months already, we're present in Denmark, the Netherlands, Belgium, Ireland, and the UK. Obviously, as you can imagine, all of our material is translated. All of our teachers are fluent in English. All of our platform is in English. So it caters perfectly any Anglo-Saxon market. What we do in our schools, when we decide to promote each of our brands, we try and become market leaders in that teaching space, in that academic space. And the contents that we do are extremely focused on the current demand. What are companies looking for? What is the real world looking for? What are employees looking for? All right. And then we put that in an academic context and we teach our students how to do that. So obviously we help them grow, and we help them get promotions. We help new jobs. We help them change career, and that has proven to be quite employable in Spain, with percentages of around 80% of our students getting a promotion or a new job. You probably are not familiar with many of the brands you're seeing. Those are the over 10 brands we currently promote. There are two that we believe are the best prepared to travel, as we say, into the European markets. Out of those, the ones we're going to be introducing, which is the Center of European Masters and Programs and Tokyo School. But as you see, we go from areas of subjects such as becoming a policeman, becoming an engineer, becoming a top veterinarian, learning how to be an accountant. There's almost an unfinished areas of subjects that we promote under the Northius Group. What's our mission? The reality, and I like to read the mission out loud because it's probably the best way to transmit it. Our schools, our training courses, and our entire team all work with one goal in mind: the incorporation of our students into the world of work, the professional space. We do this by focusing on a commitment to quality and maintaining a strong link with local industries in addition to career guidance that we offer. So all of our programs, and surely the two ones we're going to be presenting today, what we do is that we introduce our students to the real world, to the working space in two ways, not only with the teaching, of course, but we guarantee internships. So you study with us and we guarantee you're going to have an internship program between 60 and 300 hours. And I won't steal the spotlight from my colleagues. They will be sharing that in a minute. But we also hold your hand throughout the whole process of upgrading your LinkedIn profile, upgrading your CV, understanding what your assets are and what you're better at. So we are, again, almost obsessed with our students' employment plan. We like to see ourselves as a very honest company with very high levels of professionalism and surely high levels of enthusiasm. I hope you can feel the enthusiasm with my colleagues here on the call today. We really like what we do. We believe in what we do. It's a beautiful industry to be in. We teach students and we hopefully make them better candidates in the future. So obviously that's quite an attractive thing we do on our day-to-day basis. We are recognized by a large number of awards of most of our brands across many industries. I won't bore you with these, but please feel free to check our website. It's northius.com. I just wanted to share with you who we are and the size of the group and the reliability of the group. I suggest now we go into more details. I'm going to pass the word on to my colleagues, Susana and Beatriz. I'm going to try and change presentations. Aquí. No. Aquí. Gareth, can you confirm to me that you're seeing the Center for European Masters and Programs in your screen?
I can confirm, yes.
Good, very good. So I'm going to be introducing my colleague, Beatriz, who's an extreme expert, a really extreme expert in her field. And then maybe I take over and I pass it on to Dr. Gonzalez. Is that right?
That's right.
Go ahead, please.
Thank you, Fernando. I'm Dr. Beatriz Pereira. I'm the academic director of CEMP. I'm part of the board of teachers. As you can guess, hearing me, I'm Spanish. I studied chemistry at the University of Navarra, and then there I did my PhD in the field of cardiovascular research. After this, I worked as a researcher and a manager of different scientific projects. And now I am full professor in CEMP.
Thank you very much. Bea not only is in charge of all the academic content, but also will be, it's very hands-on, very in touch with the students. So for further Q&As where they become a bit more practical, etc., she's the right person to talk to. What I suggest we do now is that I have got, please, Dr. Gonzalez with us. Susana, I might leave on to you to maybe give us a bit of an update on your bio and maybe run us through the 4 different masters we offer to our students. And on this, after that, maybe I take over and we work more on the methodology and the main selling points we believe we have. All right, I'm going to pass on to you.
Great. Thank you, guys. Hello, everybody. My name is Susana Gonzalez Ricco. I am originally from Venezuela, but I live now in Spain. I have a first degree in biology, but I have a PhD then in molecular microbiology from the University College of London. I've been dedicated all my life to teaching and to academic career. And with over 20 years of experience in teaching, I am very glad to found CMP and to be working with them. I think it's a revolutionary way of working, and I am happy to be part of the staff. I'm one of the experts, and I will be part of the masters that you are going to see here. I'm going to discuss with you more or less the content of all the masters that we are offering right now, which are the master degree in medical laboratory science, the master degree in molecular biology, the master degree in cosmetic science, and the master degree in bioinformatics and biostatistics. So next, please.
Yeah, I'm your PA. Whatever help you need, you let me know. And I'll be, I'll be acting as your secretary.
Great, thank you. Okay, so to start with, I want to talk to you about the master degree in medical laboratory science. As you know, medical laboratory science is the health profession that deals with information of the laboratory part and the services that are needed for the physicians to make diagnosis and to treat diseases. Medical laboratories are becoming increasingly important in research, prevention, diagnosis, and treatment of diseases. And medical laboratory specialists collaborate very closely with physicians in diagnosing and monitoring disease processes, as well as to monitoring effective therapies of the doctors. The degree that we have here in CMP is a degree that is based on trying to cover the main issues that are important for this profession. As already mentioned, we focus is to try to get you to the professional level as fast as we can. So in the master, we cover different areas that are all related to the laboratory science. So we start with a basic module in which we introduce you to the main concepts that are needed to work with this master. And then we cover areas such as hematology, biochemistry, immunology, cal techniques, genetics and molecular biology. Then we have a huge part dedicated to infectious diseases. So we cover bacteriology, virology, mycology, parasitology. And we also have a part related to cytology and pathological techniques. So with this master, we try to guarantee you to have the best formation to start working as soon as we can in the industry. So I think it's very complete and very full of information for you.
It is indeed, and extremely helpful nowadays with all the pandemic we've seen. Any laboratory science, etc., becomes more and more fashionable. Should I move on to the next one? Susana, is that okay?
Yeah, sure. Mm-hmm.
All right.
So the second master I want to talk to you about is a master degree in molecular biology. And if you are familiar with the field, of course, you will know that molecular biology is one of the strong parts of the profession. And in fact, techniques in molecular biology are used throughout different parts of the health system and in the industry and also in the pharmaceutical companies. Molecular biologists work basically with DNA and RNA from human, plants, animals, and other organisms, while using the knowledge that they have on chemistry, physiology, cell biology, and in general biology, to use this information to try to provide solutions and to try to give answers about questions related to different subjects. Molecular biologists typically work in laboratories, but maybe applying in different kind of areas such as government institutions, hospitals, universities, research, private companies, biotechnologies, or pharmaceutical companies. So it's really a profession that has a lot of information to give and a lot of field for work. Our master is also very complete, and it goes again from the basic concepts that you need to know to understand all the techniques that we are going to discuss. And then we go through all the technologies that are used to analyze and manipulate DNA and RNA. We also have a module that is related to proteins and all the techniques that we use to manipulate, analyze, and understand the structure of the proteins. Then we go through a more deep level about understanding the structure of the cell and how all this knowledge on all these techniques can help us to understand physiology of the cell. We also don't leave behind the important part of the molecular biology that is now really gaining more and more importance, which is bioinformatics. Apply it to molecular biology, and we also don't leave behind the part of the safety in the laboratory, and we try to cover also all the techniques that are needed to keep you safe while you are working. So that's basically our master in molecular biology.
Should I move on?
Yes,
just on a side note, everybody, you guys are seeing certain icons below the pictures, and all of them are similar. This means that the structure, it's 1,500 hours. You got an internship guaranteed. It's optional, but it's guaranteed. It's all online. You get a dual degree. You get 60 credits and a whole employability plan. That applies to the 4 masters we're presenting today. Sorry for the interruption, Susana.
Yeah, no
We can
problem.
move on to the cosmetic science one, which is to be extremely popular nowadays.
Yes, exactly. The mastering degree in cosmetic science is also very popular indeed, because it gives you a wide field of working possibilities, professional possibilities. And as you know, cosmetic science is a relatively new part of the science field, and is related to the use and design of business and cosmetics. You will learn to develop and formulate and produce cosmetics and personal care products during the master. And you will also study regulations and how to assess product safety, performance, and quality. So the content of the master is, again, very wide, and it covers different areas which are much more related to the part that is that will take you to the profession and to the work. So we have first an introduction about what is the dermocosmetics and what is the use of these techniques in the real world. Then we go through the basic of cosmetics and how these products are designed and how they are providing the elements that we need to take care of our beauty concepts. Then we have, of course, the analysis of the skin and the diagnosis of the problems of the skin that are covered also during the master. We discuss the type of cosmetics that there are and how they are designed and how they are prepared. We also have a module that it relates to the appliance of cosmetics to physiological skin conditions, and how to differentiate nutricosmetics and nutraceuticals, and how they are produced and how are they used. Then we also cover, which is very important if you're going to work in this area, the legislation that is related to cosmetics, the production of cosmetics in general terms, and also how to give cosmetic advice to your clients and how to apply all this knowledge to the real world and to your clients.
Fantastic.
That's it. From
last one, Susana, thank you very much.
Yes. The last one is the Master in Bioinformatics and Biostatistics. And I think this is also becoming very popular. It's very important also. As you know, all the development of all these technologies that are, we call omics information, provide a lot of information, a lot of data, and a lot of results that need to be processed in a different way that we used to have. So we have now these new professions that are bioinformatics and biostatistics. Bioinformatics is the science of collecting and analyzing complex biological data, developing and applying computational algorithms and methodologies to data such as sequences, patterns, molecular models, and so on. And of course, it goes hand by hand with the biostatistics, because it uses statistics to deal with this data and to make sense of this data in a real valid world from the mathematical point of view. So in our master, you will have part of this learning process. And we have a very complete master that starts with the basic concepts of biochemistry and molecular biology, so that you know how to this data is organized and how it's produced. Then we have a module that relates to biostatistics and R and design. Then we have a module that is related to Python and how to use this language to understand the data. And we also have a particular module to introduce the omics databases and how they are arranged and how they have to be analyzed in the real world. So with this, you will have the basic wide view of all these possible applications of bioinformatics and biostatisticians in the world. And I think that's it on my.
That's it. Fantastic, Susana. The reality is that I do hope our audience today was able to feel how we really are trying to fill up the gap between the demand and the offer. You know, the lack of candidates for what's an increasing demand in each of the 4 areas we just covered. So thank you for that, Susana. Thank you very much. I guess the main part of this bit of CMP was just covered by the different contents of the 4 masters. There's a couple of things we'd like to share more before we move into our other school, which is Tokyo. What are we? I mean, we do believe we're experts in what we do. We try to remain extremely innovative. There's only one way, which is to be there on the field. We try to make things practical. We try to face problems that are there in the real world, and again, realistic and current. We need to be updated, but also we want to help our students become part of a given network in their area of expertise, which obviously will help them to open some windows and opportunities. Our methodology is based on several pillars. The first one, as we said, and this will be repeated in Letitia's presentation, but I still feel we cannot emphasize enough how powerful and strong our platform is. It really is a state-of-the-art platform where you have access to everything you need to have a fantastic learning experience. We do have at CMP live lessons, high quality lessons with teachers as qualified as Susana, who we were lucky to have today. And also we have another session a week with Q&As and problem solving. And you will have a personal tutor along all of your studies with us, helping you progress, helping you with problems, supporting you to make sure we personalize your experience as much as it can be. Our course content, as we were saying, is constantly updated. We are tireless in that aspect. We do not get enough research. Our teachers, as we say, they're not only academic experts, but they're actual experts and active professionals who face with constant curiosity the problems there are, the different issues that we're facing. I mean, I don't need to tell you what the world faced in the last 3 years and how relevant any sort of analysis became. But also having access to those teachers will enable you to establish some very strong networking. Lastly, as we said, we're obsessed with our students' career development. Not only we guarantee internship that can be either online or physical, it can be in Spain or in any city nearby where you are. Not only with the numerous number of institutions we have agreements with, but also if you have your own company that you want to work with, introduce us to them and we'll be able to reach an agreement with them. And again, lastly, we do hold your hand from the very moment you book with us to make you a more attractive candidate, a more well-prepared candidate when you're going out there and trying to look for a new job outside your intern. What I'm going to do, I'm going to switch on to, let's see if I do this properly, which I won't, I'm sure, Tokyo School. Now, Gareth, please correct me if I'm wrong. We're going to leave questions till the end.
Correct. And
Good.
I can see your screen.
And now we're seeing your screen that says welcome to Tokyo. Is that good?
Correct.
Okay, so I'm going to be introducing to you another fantastic expert that we have today with Letitia Garcia. Letitia, she's a lot of things. Amongst others, she's the academic director of the whole Tokyo New Technology School, which is going to be introducing in a minute. I thank her for being here. She's a very busy woman. You will see the headache figures she's going to be presenting now, around 4,000 students, etc. So I feel we're blessed to have her here. I'm going to pass on to you. Do you want me to use the mouse, or do you want to use the mouse yourself?
No worry.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Letitia. All yours.
Well, hello to everyone. As he said, I'm Letitia, and welcome to Tokyo. As today first said, and also Susana, I'm going to tell you a bit of this amazing school. First, we are going to talk about our methodology, and then I'm going to move on to our courses so you can know a little bit of them. So if you are ready, we are going to see a presentation video, and afterwards, I'm start talking to you.
This music that does get you excited, I have to admit. So, yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, please. No,
Okay. Sí.
o tú o yo.
No. Okay. So as you've seen, we are training center focused on new technologies, but we are not just any training center. We want to be updated. We want to work in an environment that's changing every day. So we need to be part of this. And we want you also to be part of that. So we want you to get involved on what's happening on the world, all the changes that are currently being on our daily basis. And we want you to create a better world, but also we want you to do it in the tech path. So I'm not going to speak a lot about this. You all know what's going on in our world, but I want you to know what our numbers are. So Tokyo School nowadays are 4,000 active students on our platform. Last year we had 1,600 new enrollments, and this year we have 1,000 new enrollments until July. So you've seen this is growing, and we offer nearly 300 hours per month, only lesson hours, okay, with all our courses that we have in total, more or less 50 courses. In Europe, we have 10 of them, but we will get growing. It's just starting, an appetizer.
So as you can see, 4,000 students having 1 hour of Leticia of airtime. It's quite a privilege. So, yeah.
So we define ourselves as innovative, non-conformist, and curious. We are constantly changing, as we told you, and we offer students our latest contents. We work on new tools every day, and we try to change our courses so they can answer the necessities of the market. Like every year, we are in a constant change. So we are offering training in sectors that are evolving, and we want you to teach that. But okay,
I can move
yeah,
on.
yeah.
As you can see, we're passionate. By listening to Leticia, we're quite passionate of what we do. I'm proud of what we do.
So I'm not going to talk more about us. I'm going to talk about our methodology. So I'm going to be more in detail because we are committed. We want to have a tailor-made method. We have the best teachers, and we also want you to have guaranteed internships. Our main objective, our main goal is that you go to the working world, learning everything that you need and knowing everything that you need. So everything's focused to that main goal.
Okay.
For that, we have 6 points that we want to explain to you now. Is that first of all, as I told you, and I'm not going to get tired of doing this, we have our tailor-made method. This means that you can do your training part, your training path at your time, whenever you want. You don't have deadlines for activities, for exams. You have 2 years to do all your training part, and in that time, you can organize yourselves as you want. Then, for this, you will have our teachers and pedagogical tutors that will help you, that will hold your hand and will help you through all this process. And for that, you also will have our online classes. As I told you before, we have weekly lessons, live lessons, where you can interact with teachers and with other students. But what happens if you can't go to that online lessons? Don't you worry. You will have these lessons on your platform and you can see them whenever you want, okay? And also we try to do master classes where people from the working world come and explain you how are these feature, what's the project that's the top one now, how can you do to get on this area? So you will have lots of examples of what's going on in the working market. So whenever you go in, you know how you have to move in that. Then we have the internships. That's the last part of our training program. You will have a maximum of 300 hours to do your internship in a company, and you can do it on the company, but also we have the option to do it at home while you do it on your computer. Then a main part that's also we have to take it into account in our industry is the official certification. As you can know, most of the programming languages have official certification linked to that. As it happens with languages, you can see, okay, this is my grade. I know until this, or I'm an expert in this version. So with this, it will happen again like languages, and we will help you to prepare to these certifications. And at the end, we have the same as my colleagues said, our employment observatory. You will have help from our experience. We will help you to do your CV portfolio, how to go to an interview, and you will see what movement it's on the market. Okay, so now I'm going to introduce you our main pillar, our e-learning platform. For me, it's really important tool because we have there everything. You can use it to contact your tutor. You can use it to contact with your teacher. You will see the calendar of your lessons, so you can in advance do your timetable and organize yourselves. But then you will have all our course content. You will have our theoretical content, activities, case studies, exams, units, modules, even your final project, and all resources that we think they are useful for you. And now, what we all came here, our course offering. So, what can you be trained in Tokyo School? Well, we have our catalog that is divided in 3 main areas. The first area is programming. Here we will see a part where we could do web development. You will learn HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, so they will help you to create a website, but not only a website, you would be able to create more apps that will be used with these languages. And then we will go to Python programming. We will see how to work with this language in a full programming part. And you will end up with 3 big projects. You will know how to create a web app linked to different databases. And also you will know how to do different apps that you will be used in companies. Also, we have the branch of the intelligence, artificial intelligence, where you will see machine and deep learning also, and you will become an expertise in this area. Then we can continue to the sorry. We can continue to the video game creation. In here, you will know how to create a video game, but not also in the part of designing, also developing a video game. So you can train in game design, but also in game development. In here, we usually work with the 2 most powerful tools in the market nowadays, Unity Engine and Unreal Engine. And you will be able to end your course having a full video game created by your hand and also playable. So what more than this? And last but not least, we have our data analysis area. In here, we will see everything that has to be with the big data, and from how to get data until how I can explain this and the consequences to a company in order to start optimizing processes. And then we are going to the cloud computing part, where we will work with the Amazon Web Services Cloud and also with Google Cloud. And we will learn how to storage things, then how to do connections, and how to start using this big storing option that nowadays we have it everywhere. So in order to give you a more complete profile, we try to do packages with our courses. Also, we want them to have sense, to be together for a reason, not like join a game design with Python because we want to do that. No, we want you to create a strong profile for you so that when you send a CV to a company, you have expertise in this area and it would be really positive for you.
Shall I move on? Because I don't think it's worth
Yeah.
go through every one of them.
No.
All right.
And then the last part is that we talked before about certifications. I talked to you about the official certifications, and I wanted to dig in a little bit about this because you probably would be asking yourself the question that, do I need to be certified to work? Okay, no. As I told you several times, this is a really changing area, and companies do not demand certification in order to go and to start working with them. Well, if you have it, it's a plus, obviously, but you would probably have to run a technical test as part of your selection process. So do not panic with this, but if you want it, in Tokyo School, we work with these companies. We work with Cisco, we work with Amazon Web Services, we work with GitHub, and also with Python Institute in order to give you everything that you need to go and do that test, okay? So we try to connect everything on our main goal that I told you is that you end up working in what you want. And with that, I've said everything about Tokyo School. So I think it's time for you to questions, and we will glad to answer whatever you need.
I'm not sure if we're a good school, but we're surely an on-time people. We said we're going to do a 40-minute presentation. It's 41 minutes, so we're quite spot on. And I do believe we have spare 5 minutes from some Q's and A's. Is that all right?
Yeah, absolutely. First of all, thank you to all of you. That was very, for what you didn't expect, very professional and very good. I really enjoyed that. Very good. I'm sure we can all agree the passion made its way through on the presentation. So we do have some questions come in, Fernando. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'd like to welcome our podcast listeners because this will go onto our podcast channel as well. So I'd like to welcome them. So I'm going to ask Fernando the questions, and he's going to coordinate and ask the questions, whether or not they need to be in English or Spanish, and so on from there. Fernando, I need to start with really how you apply. You know, we've spoken about a lot of things. The presentation has been great, and we've gone through a lot of information. But when are the intakes, and when can you apply? Where do you apply? How easy is it? And so on from there.
Okay, so that's a good lead way to something I wanted to introduce. Now, we do intend to contact our attendants of today and on future recorded versions that there are, and we are prepared to offer them some nice benefits in the shape of partial scholarships. So make sure that when you apply, which I'm going to tell you how to do now, make sure that when you apply, you do mention that you learned about us through the postgrad webinar, and there's going to be some nice benefits coming your way. Now, the easiest way to do so is to visit two of our two websites, right? One is sempeducation.com, and the other one is tokyoschool.com/en. I suggest what I do now is that I type them in our chat box, or you're kind enough to do that yourself, Gareth, so people can cut and paste. That's
yes. Sorry to interrupt you, Fernando. I think the easiest thing to do would be to email everybody that is watching, everybody that has registered. I think afterwards we email everybody with those links, and then they've got that opportunity.
Fantastic. That's one. Now, regarding intakes, Beatriz, the next intake for this SEMP Masters
on February
the 23rd. All right. And the next one is July the 23rd. Now, we do have some fixed intake dates for these masters. All right. Whereas in Tokyo,
whenever they want, as they can do it on their own, they can start tomorrow, or they can start in 1 month's time.
Excellent.
This one we knew. So far, we're doing good. Next one, see,
excellent. Already. So two very differing application and enrollment dates there. Obviously, Tokyo, we've mentioned already, the new technology school, enrolling whenever. So, you know, apply, there's nothing stopping you. Whereas SEM, slightly different, their intake dates are February and July 2023. So if you are watching or listening, that's the details, and we will send you more information later on. What I want to talk about now is, you mentioned earlier on the webinar, the slides. At the bottom, you had the little images that stated 1,500 hours of learning. You get an employability plan afterwards, 60 credits. Can you talk to me more a little bit about that, and what a student actually achieves from that and where it can take them?
Yeah, that's for CMP, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we begin with the theoretical part that launch 38 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Then we have to prepare, the students have to prepare a project, a final project, and then they have to do their internships.
So that takes you approximately it's a year. All right, those 1,500 hours. Again, it's three main slots. It's the lesson, the academic content of it. There's a final project where you have your tutors and your teachers helping you, and then there's the internship. Does that answer your question, Gareth? Or
it does. It does. I suppose the next question would be, questions have come in anyway, but this is a question from me. How do you stand out to different providers? Because it's a very competitive marketplace, as you know, and there's going to be a lot of businesses that will watch this, will know about you, and there's many businesses that offer what you also offer. So what makes you different to other people? Obviously, the excellence in learning, the career paths, and the help that you give them. Give me more insight about that.
Okay, so we do believe we have some serious competitive advantages. All right. First of all, we do respect competition. There's a lot of nice on-learning institutions out there. If I need to, so I'm gonna have to reply on both Tokyo and CMP, if that's okay. The Tokyo, it's the speed of how fast we move in getting update on the reality of the market. The very down-to-earth content we offer and we teach students really what companies are looking for, and the fact that we guarantee internships. I don't think there's anybody out there in the market that tells you, come learn with us and we guarantee you an internship. Now, you'll be surprised the number of students that do keep up their intern and become full-time employees for those companies. But that obviously depends on the student's motivation and attitude, etc. For CMP, I think it's the selling points are similar. The prestige of our teachers, really, if you do take the time to surf through our website, the CV that my teaching colleagues have got, it's quite impressive. We do guarantee internships. Again, Gareth, I've obviously, before going into the European market, we've done our homework, we've done some competitive analysis and research, and I don't think there's anybody out there that can tell you that I guarantee you some placement afterward. And in both cases, also the employability plan. I wouldn't underestimate the fact that we know our students are investing their time and their money to become better professionals. And if they get some nice support in becoming so, where it's their first time going into the real world, whether they're looking for a career upgrade or change, I think we're very well prepared to help you do that. So it really becomes a minimal investment compared to what you really get. There are some figures, economical figures, which I don't want to share today because they might be misleading, but really for your investment, you get your money back in 2-3 months' time. I'll let everybody do their own calculations afterwards.
You are correct there. What you mentioned about the European market, there's not many businesses and educational providers that offer that guaranteed internship. There'll be plenty of businesses that say we will help you and we have alumni and all of this, but none of them will guarantee it. So that's a huge coup for you. Tell me about your courses. Are they multilingual? Are they done in English and Spanish? Does it matter where you're from?
It does. So we teach both. We have a full content in Spanish, but for the audience we're talking to right now, we have the full content in English, right? It's a natural part of our international expansion. These courses are solely taught in English. So it's fully English teachers, so English-speaking teachers, English-speaking content, it's all in English. The fact that we have a Spanish background cannot mislead anybody.
Also, we are, for example, in the technological area, even though we are from Spain, here in Spanish, lots of concepts, you are learning them in English because it's what's done. So for us, it was really easy to do this.
Yeah. So basically, bottom line is, I guess, forget about the Spanish. We're an English school. We teach our content in English. So do our teachers. So is our platform. So is our application process. So are our enrollment advisors that we have that will be calling your audience in the next few days. We're all fluent in English. Some of them are native English speakers. Some of our teachers are native English speakers. So we're full English now. Yes, if you're Danish or Austrian, you need to teach it. You need to learn in English. We don't cater for the languages for the time being. We do have an aggressive plan ahead of us, which I cannot share right now.
Okay, and it goes without saying, I think if you are watching or listening, you know, I think everybody associated with your provider would be open to helping them. You know, like you mentioned, if you're Danish or Austrian and your English is quite poor, there are tests out there you can take. You can self-learn, you can educate, you can get help from everybody included today. You know, you can get help from myself, from postgrad, from you guys. So, you know, I always ask the question. I want to finish as well on funding and scholarships. Fernando, I know you mentioned it. A lot of people ask about funding and scholarships because everybody wants things cheaper and everybody wants things discounted. It's a fact. Tell me about how you go about applying for those scholarships, what you've actually got to offer, and how they work.
Okay, so we do have a starting price point that obviously varies. It differs quite a lot from some of the smaller Tokyo programs to some of the Tokyo combinations to sort of the masters, etc. Right? And in that space, we're somewhere around the 4,100 sterling pounds in some of our master's degrees, and somewhere around the 3,000 sterling pounds in some of our Tokyo programs. Again, that varies quite a lot. We do have some available slots for scholarships. Now, the scholarships and this bit we're quite strict about. They will be offered to students who show not only good qualifications but a good level of interest in us. So we do keep in mind the speed of application. We do keep in mind the moment of the year. We do keep in mind the number of extra seats we have. Those scholarships can go from somewhere between 10 to 35%, depends on the moment and the course. Okay, that will be discussed on sort of individual basis. And we do work with a platform called Stripe that allows you to pay installments. So we do cater for quite a lot. And again, we're prepared to support students as far as they're qualified. Students apply to us and we select them on several criteria. This is, although we're a private educational group, we're not necessarily obsessed with margins. We want to make sure what we offer is suitable for that student. That student is going to really benefit and enjoy and grow with that. And also, we also try to understand what does that student bring into the classroom, in the virtual classroom, you know? So we do like to have some mixed genders, mixed ages, mixed experiences, etc., to really make it a very multicultural and enriching experience.
And I was going to finish there, but there's one question that's come in. I think it's really important that we ask, because a lot of people's stereotype is that online courses, online providers don't have as good impact as face-to-face learning. And I think that's a myth. Can you put that to bed and can you explain to people, actually, since the COVID-19 pandemic, it's been mostly online learning anyway, and now more blended learning. So it doesn't matter that you do an online course. It's all the same standing.
It doesn't, Gareth. But let me tell you the way I see this. I think there's benefits to the face-to-face learning. That's undoubtable. We've all grown in physical classrooms, and there are benefits to the online learning. Now, the capacity for the student to make the best out of it relies only in the student. What we can guarantee you as an online learning school is that the tools, the resources, the platform, the methodology, the teachers we have are as good or better than if you were face-to-face. Now, if you're somebody that is self-motivated, you will benefit from it. If you're face-to-face, but you're not self-motivated and you're late for lessons or you have a hangover or whatever, you're not going to benefit from it anyway. So a lot of the success of the experience relies on the student, like many things in life. So that's one. And what's undoubtable is that you can really make your online studies compatible with almost anything. And that's that we have learned through the pandemic, you're able to do things from home. You don't need to go and commute. There's many benefits. So I don't want to sound like a preacher. I've done online lessons myself, and I'm not the most technological person in the world. I was very motivated. I made the best out of it. A colleague of mine that did it at the same time didn't benefit from it. So that's my view. I don't know if you guys agree with me or not.
Absolutely. I think we do have one of your colleagues.
Susana has got a hand up. I hope she's not going to correct me now.
Yes. No. I just want to add that also I think in this changing world where we are facing more and more remote work as a possibility, to be trained to receive classes online is part of the training to probably part of the work that you would have to do anyway, like meetings online like this one, or having to provide a work or an assignment via online, and to manage platforms and things like that. So I think it's an added value more than a handicap.
And can I ask as well, when you graduate at the end of it, what does it say on your CV? What does the graduation letter look like? Is it listed as Tokyo or CMP? Who is it? Is it Northius? Is it
Northius Group? So in the Tokyo case,
it's the name of the brand where you've worked with and with the one that you've trained. So you will have your diploma with the hours of the course, the dedication that you've done, and what were your achievements in this case. In both cases.
Correct. And adding up on that, on CMP's case, on our master's programs, we're also accredited by the UCMA, which is quite a prestigious school in Spain that accredits our courses. So you end up with a tool in both cases, Tokyo and SEM, that really helps you again grow, and you have something to prove, something to put in your LinkedIn profile.
Excellent. I think that's really important as well, because we just spoke about the evolving world, and it's more digitalized now. Who would have thought 20 years ago that if you're from Australia, you can study a course that originates from Spain, but doing it in the United Kingdom? So, it's an ever-evolving world, and that's really important. And I'd like everybody that's watching and listening to remember that as well. So, they are, especially Tokyo, new kids on the block. Look out for the name, listen to it. They will be in touch over the next 2 to 3 days. So look out for the email. If you're listening on our podcast channels, head over to postgrad.com, head over to the various different websites that they've got. And if you've got any questions, please do let us know. But for now, a huge thank you to everybody involved today. Fernando for coordinating it, and the 3 ladies accompanying. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Gareth, and thanks everybody. Good luck, and
take care.
Visit our websites, all right?
Thank you very much.
Now,
just before we wrap up today, just a reminder about what postgrad.com is. Most of you watching would have watched our sessions before. Over 10 million students have found their perfect postgraduate program. Over 200 countries for you to study at. The best advice on accommodation, visas, careers, English language, and so much more, including dedicated country zones from all over Europe. So if you're interested in studying in Spain, Germany, even online, there's a dedicated online zone as well. Head over to our website and you can find out more information. In terms of the bursary that we offer, once again, anybody watching this or listening to it is eligible to apply for one of our £500 bursaries. It does not clash with any other funding that you might have available. And if you've got any questions or concerns, please do let myself know. A reminder of what we got coming up. Tomorrow, we got the EU Business School, another European focused based business school. And we also wrap up an online special with the University of Liverpool tomorrow afternoon to wrap the festival week up. But for now, a huge thank you to everybody involved. Huge thank you to Fernando for helping making this session happen. I'm hoping we'll see a lot more of them, and you will be hearing a lot more from them in the coming days. But for now, thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.